And we're live. What is up, everybody? This is Comic Books NYC, and this is the ninth episode of Direct Edition Squad. And we're happy to be back. We're sorry we were away for a couple of weeks, but we're glad to be here tonight. How you doing, guys?
Yeah,
Doing pretty good.
glad to be back, man. Missed you guys.
I miss you guys.
I know.
Yeah, for real.
Everything's been so chaotic with us in the apartment and moving things around, and then life has just happened. So I'm so glad we actually made it this week because we've been MIA past a couple times.
I completely know what that's about, and I'm about to tell you guys a horror story of what's happened to me since Friday with my new place.
I'm really curious.
I want to hear it.
So, well, I don't know if there's anybody in here to hear it, but maybe that's fine. Just you guys can hear it. So it's Friday night. I'm chilling. I'm done with work, right? And I'm essentially just, looking forward to seeing The Hunt. And that was like the only plan I had, the five-way or whatever. That was the only plan I had Friday night. It's about 15 minutes before that. I get a call. Oh, Mr. Garrell's here, one of our moderators. Mr. Garrell, do you want to come on the show tonight, by the way? DM me your email if you want to come on the show, and I'll send you the invite. And if not, you can come on next Sunday. So we
I know you got a cool hat, man.
We want to have you on. Yeah, you got a cool hat. We're all wearing our cool hats. So
we got the throwback Marlins, man.
Just hit me on the IG with your email, and the invite will go your way. But if you want to just watch, that's totally cool. So where was I? What was the last thing I said?
Friday, 15. Yeah, 15 minutes before.
There you go. So Friday about
Friday
about 15 minutes before the hunt, I get a phone call saying that there's some sort of emergency situation at my property where the basement there's like a leak or something like that happening, and that potentially that my apartment is potentially flooding. And they need to get in, but they don't have the keys. Like, I literally just closed on the place, the previous week, and no one else
like a leak already.
And I had, and I'm the only one who had keys, but I haven't moved in yet. You know what I mean? So it's like Friday night. I'm about to just do my wind down thing, watch The Hunt, chill. Then I got to spring into action. So I got to get dressed. I got to find the keys. I didn't even know where I had the keys. I lost.
Bro, you're East Coast. I mean, that's 11 p.m. That's not
it was 11 p.m. It was late.
That's a lot of people are in bed.
And so they tried contacting my emergency contact numbers. Those people weren't answering because it was late. You know what I mean? So I barely got notice of this, and eventually I get over to the property. I let the people in, I let the super in or whatnot. I basically let people start investigating this, and it was. My apartment was the issue, and basically the sink had clogged, even though I'd never used the sink before, never moved in. You know what I mean? And so the kitchen was essentially flooding from the sink, but luckily the flooding didn't escape to any of the main areas of the place. It was just focused on the kitchen, and that's where they identified the leak below it. So I luckily got there in decent amount of time, but over the course of Friday night, Saturday morning, and then today, I've been doing cleanup essentially, and drying it out, cleaning it up, getting rid of the odor. You know what I mean? Just doing all sorts of.
Water ain't no joke, man. Take it
that
from
odor is so hard.
Yeah, dude. So
hurricane damage down here and water, you need to dry that shit out.
It's so hard to get rid of. Yep. But hey, at least you can look on the bright side and you didn't have any.
Yeah, so I've been.
Yeah, exactly.
Luckily, I had nothing in there. I haven't moved in.
That's where my mind went first. Was oh
the
no.
bright side is at least nothing's damaged.
So
it is.
Kachung showed up. Kachung, good to see you.
Hey, what's up, Kachung? Yeah, so that's, so I can be thankful for not having a complete total disaster on my hands, with all my.
But it's still a nightmare.
But it's still to have to deal with that, literally the Friday night through literally my last weekend at my current place. This is the last episode of Direct Edition Squad I'm doing from this place because I'm moving on Thursday. So to have that happen during my last weekend to prepare was it just threw my entire shit off. You know what I mean? Like
Now
I'm behind.
It's right. Yeah, like you said, it's Friday night, and then
now I'm
behind.
I'm behind for Thursday for being ready for Thursday. So it's like, so now I just got to go overdrive until Thursday and just be ready to go. So anyway, that's what I've been dealing with.
Hey, it's all downhill.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right.
There's always going to be bumps in the road, but geez.
Guys, if you don't mind,
started.
I want to give a shout out to Instagram guy Joey Bags 8484. He's doing an auction right now. You might know him from YouTube. Comic slabs and statues. So he tried to do a live one on YouTube.
Is that his YouTube channel?
Yeah, I think that's his YouTube channel. He reached out to me a couple days back trying to get an auction on YouTube, but he didn't have enough subscribers to do it mobile. Since YouTube changed it to you have to have 1,000, so I guess he tried to move it to Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, if you don't have a computer and you only stream mobile, you have to have 1,000 subscribers to go live.
Wow.
So Robin wouldn't be able to then. Yeah, we didn't know that because when we started our channel, like doing it again,
it was really only happened a couple months ago.
Yeah, because it was this was probably like 6-7 months ago when we were doing it with our phone.
Yeah, we were doing it with our phones, and even
I was doing it with my phone. I was doing it with my phone in like January, February, March-ish time.
Same here, and I ended up buying the computer and then going live, and then literally probably maybe at most a month after I started going live is when it went into effect. I think JoJo dealt with it too.
That's ridiculous.
Some people don't have computers and they've been doing, live stream shows forever. And then all of a sudden, they had to go get it. I think Hudat had to deal with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what the reason behind that is, maybe just a flood of just how
too much traffic, I guess.
Yeah.
My computer is on its last. I swear, my computer is on its last legs. Like every day,
that's ridiculous.
I open it up and it's like warning, you're out of stuff. Like
ours.
You're breaking your thing to the limit here. I'm like, great.
We're missing keys on. We're missing keys on ours, and
I got to get a new one at some point, but it's expensive because I use Macs. I use Macs. So I try to use a PC, but I go half speed when I'm using a PC. But they're way more affordable. But I've just been a Mac person for the last 15 years.
Hey, so Big the Snake, how many subs does he have now then?
I don't know, not too many. I think he was just kind of like me, just commenting in the chats and then starting to try to go live.
Mr. Garrett says, it's a new change. That's why he's hosting all these shows. He's the only one with a computer.
Yeah, it's true. I'll go sub. I mean, everyone counts. Yeah. Every little bit helps. And hey, anybody watching, maybe we just all flood and sub. Everybody in the community just blow it up.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, I lucked out, man. I mean, I won, a bet from the Super Bowl, which gave me enough money to buy a new computer. And, I just happened to I was actually on the fence. I think I even asked you, NYC, and Matt Boyo at 7, do I buy a Grail or do I buy
I remember that.
Yeah, seeing the computer.
I mean, look, if I didn't have the computer, I wouldn't be doing live streams or, hosting auctions.
Yeah, it's quite a conundrum, honestly, because the second you buy a brand new computer, it loses 1/3 of its resale value.
It's working hard.
Whereas with a Grail, that's not the case necessarily.
Yeah, it's supposed to go up if you make a smart purchase.
That's one investment we've been trying to do lately too, is get a new computer, because the one we have is an old birthday present I got from my mom for Christmas years ago. Mm-hmm. It's a Chromebook where it's very limited, and so I can't even do a lot of stuff on it because the Chromebooks were expected to be so accessible to other outlets and things, and it's a hassle. There's so much stuff that I can't do on it because it's a Chromebook.
It's mostly just Google stuff, so it's good for YouTube. So
it's good for YouTube. It works for now, but it has its restrictions.
I wanted a laptop ever since I was a kid. I mean, I've had computers, but I've just never had a laptop. So, and now you can get one that's powerful enough to, you know, do everything that a big computer can. So I was like, yeah, man, why not? I'll do the investment.
Yeah, even the gaming laptops are crazy now, you know, like the gaming ones and stuff.
You know if that rule applies to tablets also? Like, can I not?
Yeah, I think so, man.
I can't whip out my iPad and live stream.
Yeah, because tablets are very similar to mobile. A lot of them are the same, like very similar operating systems too. So, I'm willing to bet.
Even on mobile, you would have to go to view full site if you're going to a certain
kind of a bummer. That's kind of a bummer.
That is a real bummer.
I mean, I kind of had planned on switching to iPad for after I move into my new place, because then I could like put it further away from like my setup. Whereas with the laptop, like I got the laptop right now, and it's like right up in my face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't put it. Like I can't.
I know what you mean, man.
Yeah.
And what's been really hard for me is like, since I set this goal to have my book finished by the end of the year, and it's easier to write on a computer, you know, on a laptop where you're typing, but on the Chromebook we're missing keys, and you have to make sure you're holding it at the right angle or hitting it, and it's impossible. So it's like trying to write on the phone. It's just so much easier on a computer.
I got a Bluetooth keyboard, man. I don't know if it'll like work for that. We can Google it, and then if it does, I'll ship it out to y'all.
I have a Bluetooth keyboard. I have a Bluetooth keyboard for my iPad, but if it won't let me do anything with iPad, it's like moot, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look up the numbers and shit on it, and then you guys can like look it up and see if it'll work with your Chromebook. And if it does, man, just shoot me your address and I'll ship it out to y'all.
Nice.
Yeah, that would be dope, so. That would be so incredible. Yeah, because it's like what I have been getting out of my head and like into like a rough draft of what I'm writing is. There's limited space on my phone, and I'm like, I can't even do this, and it's just it.
Yeah, and we even started plotting like our comic book that we want to get doing together and stuff, and so that's in the works.
Got Jack Yo.
Jack Yo. Jack Yo.
Yo.
Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in.
Not sure where Geoffrey is tonight. I sent him the link, but wherever you are, Geoffrey, hope you're having a good one. If you don't make it tonight, we'll catch you next week, hopefully. But next week's going to be interesting because I move on Thursday. I get internet on Friday, and I don't know what state of affairs I'll be in by Sunday. You know what I mean? Like shit all over the place.
If you have time to troubleshoot or not. I mean,
like,
just
half
open
of
it,
it set up.
get it right.
Yeah, I'll just, so long as I have internet, I'll try to make the show, and it'll just be like, like spur of the moment, like whatever my setup is at the time.
Has Geoffrey been going off of his phone, or has he been?
He has a computer.
He does have a computer. I wonder.
He does mostly computer from his room or whatever.
As long as one of us start up the show, you can jump on.
Yeah.
Phone.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
You can join one. You just can't start one.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. I mean, theoretically, if I have internet by Friday, I should be able to start one. I should be able to at least grab my laptop, find a spot. Even if it's not completely ready yet. I'm still down.
Because I know like when we moved in here and we had ours set up, it was,
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
So.
Yeah.
Nice. Everything's still a mess, but we're getting there.
Talk about the internet, not the.
I know.
I mean, it's a pain in the ass. Like sometimes,
Mr. Gretzky,
when you first get it set up, like it does. I tend to have issues with it, and have to call them multiple times.
Yeah, very rarely do they get it right the first time.
No, exactly. Yeah. Mr. Gretzky, what's up, man?
I hear both you guys have some news about some video games.
Yeah, well, it's a big video game week, right? E3 is next week, and all the different major companies do a lot of announcements going into that week, into this weekend. So there's a lot of video game stuff on the horizon.
Well, what's crazy?
Soldier, what were you talking about, man?
Well,
some
what's
comic
crazy?
Book game, right?
Yeah. Well, so what it is? Microsoft actually had their conference already, And I guess they announced like their next console already, but that isn't what I was going to talk about. That's a whole other thing.
Oh, did they announce the console? Like follow up to Xbox One? I didn't even realize that they did that.
I kind of just skimmed over this article because I'm going to watch the stream because I missed it. So I'm going to watch it tomorrow. So I don't, like I would rather watch it without.
EA had their EA Play thing today also, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, EA normally kicks off E3.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's the Avengers.
Well, I know I'm getting to that, but it was the but they're calling like the Project Scarlet or whatever for the next Xbox. But the one tomorrow, Square Enix is doing theirs, and they are supposed to finally unveil the Avengers game.
Nice.
And there's like nothing officially known on it because the only thing that's ever been mentioned or shown on it was this little 56-second little like teaser video like 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm really looking forward to it, and all that's really known is that it is supposed to be like very similar to like the Spider-Man game, so like open world, very narrative, story driven, but also I think 4-player co-op, PS4, Xbox, and PC.
Man. Got to 4-player co-op.
And the Avengers too. Supposedly, supposedly you can customize your own. You can like customize your hero and stuff to build to like specific play styles and stuff. So I don't know. I've been ever since that teaser 3 years ago. I've been just like stoked, like and wanting to hear more on it. Nothing's ever came out.
Did that teaser or any of the news around the game in general specify whether like the storyline is canon? Like. Is it part of the MCU like universe, or is it standalone?
Yeah, some games have like a timeline that runs parallel with the universe, so it kind of counts but doesn't count.
Right. Is there any?
I've never seen anything
news on that.
Is it going to be on the E3 that's Tuesday?
Tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. Live streamed at 6 Pacific on Square Enix's website.
They'll announce it.
They haven't mentioned if it's like tie-in to MCU or anything like that. But after this, I did hear after the success of the Spider-Man game, Marvel has created their own game division, Marvel Games. And I did read something like they want to do like a universe like the MCU, but for video games. So think of it like the MCU, solo titles, team titles, like all this. But
of course, makes sense, man.
Yeah,
I mean, they're making it big, dude. Instead of outsourcing their stuff to other companies to make their product, all they got to do is hire their own guys to make video games and make their own damn product. So I mean, they're running it right now.
Well, I think what it is because like Insomniac did the Spider-Man game, Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics and all them are doing the Avengers game. So it looks like Marvel Games is publishing it, but these other guys are making it.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not doing the work, So it's like, so I think Marvel Games is more like a publisher, and then.
Gotcha. I misunderstood.
So far,
I thought they were
going to developers.
I thought they were going to branch out and be like a Square Enix or something like that. You
got GPAP in the house.
It could be.
How you doing?
Well, honestly, I can't wait for it to find out more information tomorrow on the live feed that they're going to do, because he's been talking my ear off with all the different possibilities, and there's this and there's that, and then there's also this, and I'm like, you said that one already, babe.
I would love a Marvel game like a Red Dead or a Grand Theft. Like, it doesn't have to be intense or R-rated, but like open world like that, to where you could play online and then run into online people. There's so many thousands of characters, or even if you customize your own. Endless possibilities. You could be villains and go do a heist, or you could be good guys going around and trying to stop random bad guys,
I'm looking forward to
the best thing that dawned on me is all of us can play it together too.
That's
We know each other,
That'll be epic.
Online, that's what I'm looking for too.
What's up?
Hey, Stay Puff. What's up, bro?
How you doing, man?
Hey, Puff.
Yeah.
I'm also really looking forward
to
the Final Fantasy VII remake. And more news about that coming out at E3. It's also made by Square Enix, and that was
Yeah, they are supposed to show more.
In my early younger gaming days, like Final Fantasy VII is like up there. It's in like my top 5 of just overall experience, game story, just how much
amazing.
How much I was into it.
I never played it, but I was always at my buddy's house and we'd be chilling and I would just be watching them play. And like besides all the commercials that were everywhere. I mean,
so they announced that game 4 years ago and there was nothing for 4 years. And then about 6 weeks ago, they finally put out a trailer that included some cutscenes and some gameplay. And at the end of that trailer, it said more at E3 or more info at E3. So maybe we'll finally get a release date for that. I'm hoping, which would be great because
I'm hoping,
to take that game and put it into like the modern graphics and just and gameplay logistics. I mean, I can't wait to play that game again, but in a new way. You know?
Yeah, for real. Because I was the same way. I mean, I loved that game back in the day.
So good.
Yeah. It was so ahead of its time too for back then, because like what was it, like 96 or 97, something like that. Like it was crazy.
Oh my god, it's a long time ago. Yeah.
Hey, I would just say it out loud.
Back in the Atari days where they didn't have any memory, we've come a long way.
Not quite that old, but yeah.
Well, that implies we came a long way.
It's interesting that Sony isn't at E3 this year. Like DC pulled out of San Diego Comic-Con and Sony is pulled out of E3. Like Sony had their own event like a month ago where a lot of this news was announced on the regarding Final Fantasy. But Square Enix is still at E3, so I'm assuming that's where the next like nugget of news comes out of for that game.
I think that's what's gonna happen, man.
They're all gonna have their own events.
Yeah, man. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, because someone pulled out last year too.
Didn't DC or WB just pull out a Hall H?
Yeah, they pulled out a Hall H for this year.
Yeah. So sorry. Go ahead, Fuchsia.
No, you're good. I just have overexcitement because I don't know how I completely forgot, but Death Stranding finally had a release date.
Oh.
It's the one that's going to be with Norman Reedus. Norman Reedus.
Yeah. Baby.
I can't say the dude's name. What's his?
Hideo Kojima's next game. Yeah.
Him.
The creator of Metal Gear and all that.
Yeah,
his
they
next
hook
game.
up the babies to him and they like hook up. Yeah, dude, that thing looks gnarly.
Yeah, the previews for all of it has been
baby
like,
backpacks
so
that you hook up like a fucking vacuum cleaner bag and you just I don't even know how else to explain.
Dude, he is such a trip.
I don't remember the exact release date I heard, but it was 2020.
It was 2020.
It was 2020.
And I was surprised by it because like Hideo Kojima's games are always so long in development.
Yeah.
What up, Caleb?
So I was trying to get overhyped.
There's a lot of other big name actors that are not big name, but you know what I mean, notable actors that are playing roles in that game, not just Norman Reedus. Top of my head,
Mads Mikkelsen,
Ellen Page.
Mikkelsen is in it.
Ellen.
And the
Guillermo del Toro's
the kid from Shameless.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro's in it.
The kid from Shameless is in the new Star Wars game, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which had a gameplay demo out today.
What was the actor that played Mr. Robot? He was in Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Oh, Rami Malek?
Rami Malek is in it.
And then what was the other one? I can't remember her name, the blonde.
Oh,
she was in it too.
In Heroes. I can't remember her name though.
I can't think of her name, but she was in it too.
Yeah, I know you're talking about
Jedi game, man. I heard Jedi. Tell me more.
So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is the new EA game with the Star Wars license. I think it's coming out November 15th at the end of the year, so like holiday season or whatever. At Star Wars Celebration in Chicago, which I was at, they revealed the game. They announced the like release window, and they showed like a trailer that more focused on like storyline and cutscenes. Today they finally released like a 15-minute gameplay demo, and it looks badass. Like it looks really cool.
Hey, John's Comments with Kids is in chat.
Hey, what's up, John? How you doing, man?
Hey, Geoffrey's in the house.
John Free.
Yeah, I saw that trailer, man. After you mentioned it,
it looks amazing. Yeah,
go watch that trailer, everybody. It was so good. It made me realize this was the original character type thing that we wanted y'all to make movies about.
The name of the character is Cal, I think Cal Cassis or something.
His little sidekick, like robot monkey type thing that runs around with them. It's like a cool version of R2/Wally. And
it's a very cute droid. But the game,
like, interaction, like what's his name with the lazy eye and Black Panther, Ghost Dog, Samurai Dog.
Yeah, and Saul Guerrera from Rebels.
Yeah, that guy. That's what I'm trying to think.
He showed up in the gameplay
Think of his
footage,
real
which
name.
was pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound good. I'm definitely gonna have to look that up after this.
Does it? So does it have like a more like
It's a story-driven game with like thoughtful combat. So it's not. I wouldn't say it's like Metal Gear Solid level thoughtful combat. Like it's not that like stealth, you know. So it's a little bit more like, you know, Jedi.
Whitaker.
Yeah, like Jedi force powers and stuff like that. You know, you can throw people, you can slow down time. Like there's this one thing where like the guy slows down time after a stormtrooper has fired his blaster. He slows down time, then he force grabs the stormtrooper while his own blaster is like in slow motion and brings him to the front, and he basically kills the stormtrooper with his own blaster shot. Like I was like, please. Let me do that, you know.
Oh my god.
We'll have to be careful on that one.
I'm gonna look for that trailer as soon as we're
if
right
we
after
get
this.
into that one, we're gonna have to be so careful. I can't be throwing grenades again.
Oh god. Yeah, that's a long inside joke from back when we used to stream and stuff.
Yeah, but no, it sounds good.
It sounds good. I mean, and it's not necessarily like a multiplayer like. I think you know, like build up your character style, like so you can.
I think it's story based.
More story based, yeah, more story based.
That's kind of what I want.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what I want. So
yeah.
You have Battlefront or whatever you are for that multiplayer.
Yeah, I got Battlefront. Even Battlefront.
That's why I asked.
Battlefront 2 had a story, but it was a very short story mode. Like it only took.
I want that standalone story that immerses me in the universe.
Yeah, me too. And
it's like a Star Wars Metal Gear, man. I mean, pretty much you're going around like kicking ass, fighting guys, and picking up stuff.
Just the 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay footage that I saw earlier today was like has me really, really stoked. Way more stoked than like the movie style trailer that they put out at Celebration, where it's, you know, just to give you a feel. You know, this one shows you like actual gameplay from like 3 hours into the game, apparently. So,
dude, maybe I missed it, but did they like hint on? Are you gonna have your choice to go dark or light?
I don't think so. I think you're just literally
a wild story.
Like you're playing a character that is essentially a Jedi in training. So he's not a Jedi Knight or Master or whatever you want to call it. He's more of like a Padawan at the time.
Yeah, he's still kind of like on the Ezra type.
But he's not like he's not fresh off the boat, completely brand new.
From Rebels, if you guys don't.
He still has like a solid skill set, and then I'm sure that grows throughout the portion of the game. But Fallen Order, it happens in between episodes 3 and 4. You know, during Order 66. When Emperor Palpatine is basically eliminating all Jedi across, you know, throughout the entire universe. So you're playing a character that essentially is a young Jedi trying to survive the you know, complete extinguishing of all Jedi in the galaxy. And so that's kind of the very base level of the story, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, I'm already hyped and looking forward to it now.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been slacking on gaming, so.
I just got back into it, man. I'm revisiting Zelda Breath of the Wild, man. I had to I'm trying to finish that. I did everything before I had to enter the castle. Now it's time to man up and beat that damn thing.
Awesome.
Dude, I want to get a Switch just for that game. Like, I've never played it, but
that's the whole reason why I bought it. And then I was like, Mario. And then there's all these other games and DLC content that's like released. They have like an emulator on there where you can get all old Nintendo games. I mean, I already have my own like full thing with every game. But
I haven't played a Zelda game in like 10 years. I really want to play one.
If you're playing Red Dead, it's going to set you back a little bit, but it's still enjoyable. But Zelda Breath of the Wild was Red Dead before Red Dead was released. It was a huge open world. You get your horse, you're going around picking up shit, fighting people, and it's in that cartoony vibe. And you really don't lose a lot of the gameplay when you're playing it handheld. I play mostly handheld, and that's surprising me. I hate handheld games.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time.
I'm not big on handheld or mobile games. I never play games on my cell phone or anything. Like I don't.
Yeah,
not a big fan of
I'm so
mobile.
surprised at how much I play handheld with the Switch. I'm just like sitting there while I've got the YouTube going with the comic people, and I'm just like, you know.
Nice.
What's been throwing me for a loop is I got this Spiral remastered. Only back when I played it, it was on PlayStation, and the remastered I got on Xbox. It's been throwing me for a loop. I'm like, wait, I remember how to do it, but it's not this button. It's been throwing me off, but it's been so funny learning. Like just
that's why I was
like
redoing Zelda. I came back and I'm like, I got all these toys, but like your weapons and shit break and stuff, and I don't want to waste them. And I'm like, God, I got to relearn how to do everything. I'm gonna bust and waste everything that I gained.
Yeah, and there's a few things you do remember here and there where you're like, oh wait, yeah, I do remember that, and it's like
Hey,
just
big shout out in the chat, McD. What's going on, brother?
McD,
Yeah.
How's it going? Hope we're having a good.
Bro,
how's it going? It's going good, except for me trying to clean up my disaster all weekend. I'm just now. This is my first like free time this weekend, which is nice. So I'm really chill. Yeah.
That's what my mom always tells me when I'm like stressing out. She's like, "Be the duck." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Just let it go. Let the water slide off like the duck. It'll work out."
Brush your shoulders off right there.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got any snacks this week, Bake?
Oh, my go-to snack. I've shown them before, but you know,
it's like once we're like 30 minutes into the show and we haven't
the
had
peanut butter M&Ms, man.
There we go. Yep.
It's great you bring that up. We were actually,
I love those.
Right before the show, we were snacking on Tostino's hint of jalapeno chips with queso dip.
Oh yeah.
Oh, very nice.
So good.
So good.
So
dude,
good.
I do want to show this, man. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you see.
Oh yeah, I saw you post that.
Yes, I've seen that. Congratulations.
It's so
It's so beautiful.
Like it's really not that an expensive cover, but it's so beautiful. And like if you see this guy's detail, like you know, a lot of people are starting to go after bowling covers or balling, however you pronounce it. But yeah, man, I'm happy to have this. I got it for like $20, I think. I mind you, I had a $25 eBay gift card, so that contributed to that. So
perfect, yeah. I want to say I love the ad on the back too. Like it's so cool to see those old ads in the books. Like I love that about old books.
Yeah, NYC was showing them off. Who were you with? Bear Island or DS?
Yeah. So I did a show on my channel called Rogue Chat with DS Comics, where we
DS. Sorry about that.
I mean, throughout the whole show, we were basically showing old back covers and putting a highlight on back covers.
Dude, it made me happy because I thought I was the only one that actually kind of cared about that. I see old school. Like, dude, I had these two slabs. I don't know if you guys saw my unboxing the other day. These two slabs right here, bro. Mask, the old 80s TV show toys. And, of course, anyone that's ever gone through puberty, fucking Oxy zip pads. Like the whole thing, like Clearasil double cleanser, the pad, dude. I mean, these things are great. Oh yeah, you want to see the books too? Like, who cares what the books are, right? I mean, one of them's First Lady Jedi, but it's all about the ads.
Nice.
It's that first appearance of Maxi Pad in ad.
Yeah.
That's what I love about Stranger Things is how good they are at captivating the 80s with like the Eggos and the commercials. It's just it's so cool. Like
that's how
the mall.
Times are changing, but the old ads.
That's not too far away now. Is the next season? It's July 4th week, I think. So like 3 weeks.
Dude, that'd be great. I go to the con like July 4th or 5th, and then that Stranger Things weekend. That's gonna be great.
Can't wait. So John's Comics with Kids called out. John's Comics with Kids called out Reese's Pieces in the chat, which I'm a big fan of. I mean, have you guys ever had the Reese's Big Cup? So it's like an old school Reese's, just regular peanut butter cup, but it's like double or triple size, and on the inside is Reese's Pieces. So they put Reese's Pieces inside of a Reese's peanut butter cup, and it's baller. It's one of my favorites.
Not just
that. I haven't tried it yet.
Getting UGC books just for ads. No, not just for ads. It's just the added bonus.
It's just exactly additional bonus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciation in what used to be when it all began.
Yeah, it reminds you of the times. You know, you're like looking through an old book and you see it
For
now,
sure.
and it's like, oh wow.
Yeah, especially like
No, I think I've seen those Reese's cups though.
Oh yeah,
They're good.
where they're filled with the Reese's Pieces inside.
yeah, they're good, man.
Dude, York peppermint patty. That reminded me. If you want like a life hack, if you love the Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies, and you don't want to wait all year round, get them Oreo mints. If you don't like too much mint, you can get the Oreo mint thin ones. Either way, it's better. Trust me.
Yeah, there's another one that's like the Samoas. It's I can't think of it, but there's a version of the Samoas out there too where it's.
Is it an Oreo flavor
Keebler,
or is it a different
maybe?
cookie?
It's a different cookie. It's the coconut one with the chocolate sprinkles.
I forget what it was. Some chat somewhere. Someone said that the mint Oreos tasted like toothpaste. I'm like, well, then you just don't like mint then. I mean, if you don't like cookies and cream, then it ain't going to taste good to you. But to say it tastes like toothpaste, come on.
I saw some story. I don't know if it was on a news website or social media about a homeless person being given Oreo cookies filled with toothpaste. And they caught the perpetrator and actually he got
so cool.
Good, because that's
so
me.
Cool? That's so cool.
Good.
Yeah,
That's so cruel. That is
like what the hell's even the point of that? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah. You wasted
Really?
that much of your time just to make someone like miserable that was
Pretty
starving.
terrible. But it did happen in real life. So.
Ooh.
Yep.
Gosh,
There was these red velvet cakes that I got hooked on. They only came out around Valentine's Day, and I was hooked on the red velvet. They were these little heart-shaped white cakes with red velvet filling.
Like Little Debbie's?
They were so good. I miss them
You guys are
so
making me
much.
hungry now.
I think it was
Yeah,
by then.
it was Little Debbie's. Oh my! I freaked out.
But and it's
I like
funny
the
because there's been a
zebra
couple Valentines.
Oh.
We haven't seen them again.
That reminds me, I did try the new M&M's hazelnut, and I don't really taste too much of the hazelnut. It still tastes like a regular M&M. I was a little disappointed.
I'm in the middle. It's just, not too much. And it's not good. It's not bad.
Mm.
You know what I like, though? The caramel.
Yeah, it's
the caramel ones,
those
they give
are
you
good.
a little bit of chew to it, so it's like a whole different texture.
Well, and it's like back in the day, I was obsessed with the crispy M&Ms that used to be, I believe it was in the blue package, or they might be in that one now. Either way, they
Green.
discontinued them.
Oh, no,
and
blue.
We had gone down, to Vegas as a family trip since my stepdad had family down there. I even went to the M&M factory in Vegas, and I was like, where are the crispy M&Ms? And they're like, they discontinued them. And so like years later when they just brought them out, I heard that they were going to come out, and I went to the grocery store and I couldn't find them anywhere. And they're like, oh, you can write a letter to the manager. I legitimately had the manager of a grocery store call me just to tell me that they received the crispy M&Ms. And oh my God, I was freaking out.
That must have been overjoyed. Like, my boy's battered.
Yeah,
Dude,
it was like
totally, man.
childhood. It was great. And then my brother-in-law made me believe that it was false and they didn't have them as they were in his pocket. I'm like, don't do that to me, man. It's so good.
He said the Reese's eggs Easter time are only, oh my God, so good. Yeah, man. Those, the pumpkin, the Christmas trees, whatever they do for those seasonal, like bigger ones, it's a whole new peanut butter. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's like crack.
There is a difference.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You wouldn't think there would be, but there's totally a difference in those.
Oh,
yeah.
Sugar is like way more addicting than like, cigarettes or tobacco or anything. In my opinion, it's like sugar's at the top of the list, man.
It's proven. It fires the same things in your brain as cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the same receptors and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what else you guys got going on this week? We're probably gonna wrap up in a little bit, but anything else you guys have going on? Auctions, anything like that?
No,
I can think of. I mean, we're gonna mention on our next show because I don't know if it's inappropriate or not, but I already started, so I might as well end it.
I don't know.
Speaking my thoughts, we were gonna do our giveaway on our show, Married with Issues. Even though we've been on a hiatus, we were gonna announce next week that we're still gonna be doing that here soon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a space cadet. It's
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're all good.
yeah.
I'm gonna try to do it.
But yeah, all I know really.
What was that?
What was that, Big?
I'm gonna try to do an auction on the 22nd. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were finished around the panel. My
Oh,
bad.
I didn't hear you.
No, you're
No,
good.
no.
I was just gonna say, pretty much just our regular show Saturday and
Yeah. Reading.
yeah.
I start my new job in 2.5 weeks,
yeah, a
but I'm
couple
working
weeks.
with you for the most part. and,
Hell yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
Super fun about
What
that.
books are you guys looking forward to this next week?
Honestly, I don't know.
I'm looking
because-
forward. I mean, there's that.
I don't know.
I know. I do that sometimes too, where I don't like look ahead at the.
Like I don't know what's coming out.
previews and
Yeah,
all that.
I've been so just busy. Like if I go to the comic book store on Wednesday, what am I gonna do with those books? Like I'm moving on Thursday.
That's true.
It's like, what do I do?
Just more shit you gotta carry.
I honestly will just have Midtown Comics hold my polls, and I'll pick them up on the weekend, over the weekend, like after things calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
After you move, right? You don't want to just have more crap to move.
That'd be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
I do pre-orders, dude, and when I'm looking on a computer like a month in advance, I go through and click, and then now, like, being that the month is actually happening, now I'll watch like some videos or something to remind me what's coming out during the week. So sometimes I doubles, but for the most part, the books that initially caught my eye, I'm covered on. So we'll see where I land.
Yeah.
That's when support the community and watch all these people with what they want to come out, or like Bueller or Jim or Robbie Rance. Like they have a lot of good ones that throw out books for the week. And even Robbie Rance, I think he has a comic shop where he ends up reviewing the books like the day before. Usually it's late Tuesday, but he's read a few of them and he actually gives you the review.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I'm excited to get into the hex
I'm curious. I'm curious about Silver Surfer Black, Donny Cates. I mean.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely curious. So that probably will pick that up, but I don't know. Like,
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Catwoman 12 art term.
Yes, that.
What is that book?
Silver Surfer killing Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's knocking his head off. I don't know if he can kill him. But yeah, man, I think it's Thanos 17. But it just had it right here with Silver Surfer holding the Mjolnir. Sorry, I got M&M's and peanut butter in my mouth.
Did Silver Surfer do it with Mjolnir?
That's it. I don't know, man. It's right here, and who knows? It's just a comic book cover, bro. You know how. But it's a dope battle line.
Nice.
Yeah, because I had read that. Yeah, that he killed Ghost Rider or whatever, but I can't remember because I didn't read it. Yeah,
I did hear the Vertigo, how they might. I'm a little worried about that rumor. I don't know if you guys have heard that one yet.
Yeah, there's some rumors that DC might be dropping Vertigo.
Oh wow.
It's just like a rumor at this point, but
can't make too much.
But there's
of
also
it for
like
now.
a possibility that they might move some of the titles over to the Black Label line or something. But I don't know. It's kind of a bummer because she reads like a lot of the.
Means gone or like letting them go free and be their own brand.
I'm like true. Fingers crossed that they're letting them be free and do their own brand. I'm praying that that's if anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there's so many titles that I read under there.
Because one thing did mention the possibility of moving titles over to the Black Label, so I don't know. That's
Murph says they're done. Man.
I don't know because
that sucks.
That would suck.
No.
I like where to go.
Right.
I have a feeling.
Yeah, like American Carnage.
I have a feeling all of DC Universe is going to be done pretty soon. The DC streaming app.
Surfer Black does come out this week.
It does? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing something about it. That's why when you said it, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, speaking on that, NYC, right before we went live, there was an article from a couple hours ago that someone from DC, it just said DC Universe official, had finally responded, and they're denying that all those reports, like the whole tax crap and all that caused the Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing stuff?
Yeah.
They're denying it.
So they denied all that, but then they're saying, unfortunately, we can't give you a reason at this time or whatever, yada yada.
They're not giving a
and
statement.
kind of like intimated that they're still planning for future stuff on the app, but it sounds like those like PR person wrote bullcrap press.
Yeah, we're never going to hear the truth.
It sounds like the same stories you heard with Punisher and and Daredevil.
Yeah,
it
like
sounds
right
like
before they all got canceled.
I'm gonna tell you, I think the tax thing sounds legit because being here in the Keys, the same thing happened with Bloodlines. They were filming down here.
I like that show. Man, I like that.
Yeah,
show.
my friend is our state representative down here, his wife, and they went and decided not to give tax breaks to these billion-dollar production companies who already have buku bucks. If anything, we're in a high commodity tourist community. These people should be paying us to use our scenery and our thing, because they go to where you want to go. They preach that they're going to boom your economy and create jobs. Well, the extras are professional extras. I hung out with the crew and everybody. They travel the country and the globe to be on the TV shows. They don't hire local contractors. They bring in their own guys to build sets. My buddies have property down here, mechanics and shit they wanted to use. They go, hey man, can we use your shop to film? Yeah, how much you paying? Oh no, you just get the notoriety of being on this show. People will recognize you. What, you're saying that they're going to recognize my real shop on your fictitious TV show? Like they wanted to use people's boats and everything else for free, and this is how it is, because a lot of shows and movies have been filmed down here. So they preach, and that's why it's funny, like with this whole abortion thing, that Disney's trying to back out of Georgia or Alabama, and it's like, whoa, dude, you don't create enough jobs. Like, you're in your little bubble in California, and you think that you leaving is going to do anything. Like, it's not. All you do is rent houses, go to the grocery store, and maybe hit a restaurant up every now and then. Other than that, you don't build anything. You don't fall. They're not doing enough for communities to warrant $1 million tax breaks when they're already super rich and can afford to make these movies and films anyway.
And if they're closing down these areas and having these professional backup people around, the locals aren't able to go there. So it's like, why wouldn't if you're closing down the area just for you, you should pay for it.
The only people,
the
only people it really affects is local actors and actresses that don't live in Los Angeles, and they chose to live in either Atlanta or whatever it is.
Really, they moved there.
Major market in the South, because it's more of the cost of living is better over there. And they get more opportunities when shows film down there, like whether it's The Walking Dead or whatever, like extra, to be an extra on, show XYZ or whatever.
Well, I can say Walking Dead because it's been so long, they need more extras, or it really doesn't matter because everyone's in makeup. But like I said, the extras travel around the world they're like roadies.
It's a small community of people that are affected.
The percentage of locals in the town that they're actually shooting in, and that's what I mean. Because I got in a debate with the guy from Bloodlines who played the FBI director. He said that he was a local, and I'm like, dude, I ain't never seen you in the Keys before. Just because you live in Florida don't mean you're a local. They don't hire the locals that they hire. They pay them $100 a day for $12 to $15 or 12 to 15 hours of work. Those people already have jobs, and they make well over $100 for less time. Yeah. So I mean, for them, everything that these production companies try to blow smoke up your ass to have you sign these tax agreements. I mean, it sucks for us, the fans, but people need to start cutting this in the bud. Like, they don't need tax breaks. They're fucking rich ones, dude. And how much money do they make?
I agree 100%.
They try to hang it over you like, well, we're going to, like, especially like I just mentioned, I don't want to get into politics, but the abortion thing and Disney leaving because, oh, well, we're going to take all these jobs and stuff with them. Well, good. Don't let the door hit you on your ass on the way out. You don't create enough money in your communities to actually have a say in this shit. And to start trying to sway your political views over another state's vote has nothing to do with your fucking production of jobs. Like, just stop trying to intertwine the two.
they need to get their shit together. Sorry, I didn't mean to say the S word.
I don't think we have enough subscribers for YouTube to care about us cursing.
Yeah. I try not to, but
Yeah,
no,
get
I
them
totally
out.
get
we
that.
don't even have enough
100%.
subscribers
They need to
to
be
use our iPhones anymore. So what are you gonna do?
I agree with you though, Bake. 100%. They need to quit being so greedy and selfish. Like that's one thing that's really turned everyone apart is greed and
I hung out
selfish.
with a lot of production people, like the behind the scenes camera people, lighting, extras from the production of Bloodlines. My roommate at the time, they filmed some other stuff. I forget, it was like a Hallmark movie. He was a stand-in light person. Like, this is how they waste fucking money. You're paying actors hundreds of $1,000s and millions of dollars, but they're so pretentious that they want to sit in their trailer for hours while they hire someone that looks just like them to stand in freezing cold water so they can get the lights right. That was my friend's dude. He literally sat there for 5 to 7 hours in freezing cold water and board shorts with a chick that, like the male and the two stars, male and female, and you didn't talk. You're just sitting there like, you know, whatever. All right, move to the next part. They set the lights up. So, I mean, they just waste money left and right.
Yeah, one time back in the day, like it was probably like 10 years ago at this point, me and my buddy, because like, you know, I've said before, like being an artist and all that, like growing up, being a graffiti artist and all that, I used to like paint murals and stuff like as a job. And I did a few for TV shows, but one like reminds me of like what you're saying, you know, with all that, like we did like backdrops and stuff for, it ended up being a Lifetime movie. But like you said, a lot of the people, they weren't locals and all that crap, you know, and yeah.
And they want everything
I totally
for free.
get what you're coming at.
Dude, my cabinet company was on a show called Hotel Impossible. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's one of them reality shows where they remake hotels and shit. They want my buddy is the contractor that supervised that whole thing. He donated everything. We donated everything. They promise you all this shit, blow smoke up your ass. We were never on the show, but our work was, and then the name at the very end was like 2 seconds, not even. It was like Tom Baker, the cabinet maker.
That's
just like, what?
That's a real issue.
Yeah, we were
saying,
when we were negotiating like our prices with them, they were cheap bastards. Yeah. They were.
So I mean, that's something to think about.
You gotta give credit where credit is due, and
when people come and like, I know we're not like a huge channel, but you know, when these things happen in your state to vote, I hope you vote to start holding these production companies credible. Like they have the money to pay. If anything, they disrupt your way of life, traffic, and everything else. They basically stronghold your community while they are there and get everything they want. So I'm just saying, these guys have the money to pay. They should be paying us to use our properties, not the other way around. So to stop voting,
100%.
Yeah, I guess I come at it from a slightly different angle because I've lived in Los Angeles for 10 years and I've lived in New York City for the last 4 or 5 years. And those are by far the predominant markets for where video, entertainment, content, whatever you want to call it, is produced, right? And I've personally lost like entire budgets on projects that, you know, I could have done for half the money elsewhere, you know what I mean, with just as good talent, you know what I mean? So like, I don't think it's as cut and dry as what you're saying, Bake, but I think you're making a lot of good points. So. You know,
I'm sure there's other aspects to it, but for as you know, if we did make it cut and dry, black and white, like that's for the most part on a grand scale. Like when you're talking about local, regular up and coming people, like they deserve their little breaks, you know, to help. They're amateurs trying to make it big, but when you're talking about Warner Brothers and DC and Netflix,
like they should be able to just pay. They should be able to pay what it costs, like or you know, like
exactly.
Yeah. I don't want to make it seem like it's an amateur filmmaker because I have a lot of friends that do that too.
That's what makes. I mean,
see, there's
not
a huge,
not to talk bad about our own country, but that's what makes Canada so great because they have all these endowments.
So many
stuff.
people film up there.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, if you want to be, if you want to be a filmmaker, or you want to be a musician, or you want to be a painter, or whatever it is, like the Canadian government will actually like subsidize your like pursuit of that, which is I find like mind blowing compared to what we do here to support from like a federal government standpoint. Anyway, I don't want to get into that.
No, but I mean, what I was gonna say, once you get in depth to the logistics of it, there's so many variables that play into it, and loopholes and twists and turns, and they make it so much more complicated than it needs to be. Like, why is it so hard to keep it simple? Right. But like, I mean, when it's local amateurs, you know, you're getting your start and you're doing your own videos and you're not well known. It's like Pool Hall Junkies, how that was here.
Yeah, I love that movie.
It's just like that. It's
one of my favorite movies of all time.
Movie. Great movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, and it's like that was filmed here, so there's a big difference because the ones that are amateurs aren't trying to disrupt. You know, they're being considerate to everyone else. You know, well, I can't say for sure, but it's just there's differences between it, so I'll leave it at that.
I just meant like when they came down here. A-list acting talent, you know, they're all over the place now in Skrulls movies and, you know, Godzilla movies and shit like that. And Grandma's Boy and Freaks and Geeks. I mean, Sam Shepard, Oscar winner, Sissy Spacek. You know, you hear this cast that's going to be down here filming, and then they start asking for everything for free. And you're like, go fuck yourself, bro. Are you kidding me?
Speaking of A-list talent, Meryl Streep is going to be on the new season of Big Little Lies, which premieres today on HBO. I don't know if you guys watch that show, but that's like
I hear good things about it, man.
I watched like half of season 1. I need to finish the second half of it, but it was pretty good. What I saw.
I haven't seen it. No.
Yeah.
It's like a Gritty Housewives movie, right?
Kind of.
Show.
Yeah, kind of, but it's got more depth to it than that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's kind of like it's kind of a murder. It's kind of a murder mystery mixed with that. You know what I mean?
That's what I was just about to say. That they hinted at someone got killed and something.
Yeah.
Speaking of shows, did any of you guys watch Good Omens?
Oh yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
It's a 6-episode series on Amazon. Yeah.
The only thing that sucks about it is, like I said, with the restrictions, is it's only on Amazon Prime right now, and not everybody has access to Amazon Prime. But if you ever get the chance, when it comes out on DVD or is ever sold as like a physical copy, I'm totally buying it. It was so good. Yeah. If you ever get the chance to see Good Omens, it was so good.
I love Amazon. I love Amazon Prime. I watch a lot of stuff on there, so I'll probably check that out.
The closest I got to it was a comment on Nerdist. they were a little like I don't know, childish, and they were saying something. Should we ship these two characters? And it was the two guy characters, and I'm like, come on, guys, stop using the word ship. Well, next thing you know, people that you know were hating me because they thought I was talking about gay people or everything else. I'm like, no, bro, I'm literally just talking about the word ship. We're not 12-year-old little girls. We can stop using the word ship. First of all,
where did that start?
Exactly.
First of all, it's a poker term. You ship in your chips, or you ship your package, or all of a sudden now it's become
what we have here is a failure to communicate. So many words can be misconstrued, and it's like you gotta understand the way I'm saying it is. It's not the way you think
look at it on the word. That's the other thing a lot of people have, man. The way we read shit to ourselves, dude. Some people are like, "Why are you so pissed?" I'm like, dude, those are words black and white on a page. You're the one putting emotions to them, bro. Like, just read them how they are.
Yeah, seriously.
You know.
Exactly. Oh, agreed. Right. It's been good.
Yeah. What about Fear the Walking Dead? Any of you guys watch that?
I'm like 2 seasons behind on Walking Dead.
Same.
Fear the Walking Dead, I think. Maybe.
To me, Fear the Walking Dead has been better. It's been like the saving grace, like the characters. They have like the A-listers, I think. Like Morgan's over there now. They had the dude from Deadwood that I forget his name. Shit, the other girl was from Deadwood too, Madison. But yeah, to me, it seems like a better show. We'll see where it goes.
I've actually heard that though.
On Fear the Walking Dead, I think we only saw about the first season. I loved it, but we're so far behind on that one.
The first 2 seasons, they had an opening that was awesome. It was like totally horror opening.
I love that opening, that like creepy music, and it's just like this glitchy, like whatever,
because they changed different directors on season 3, I think it was, because I think we're on season 4 now. But now they do like this story because it's kind of taking this Western vibe.
I made it all the way to the end of the previous season where like they end up in a different location, kind of ish, right?
Yeah.
By the end of it, that without spoiling it, that's the only thing I could say that will confirm I was at the same point.
I enjoyed it how it took off right from the start with like, damn, what's going on? Like the virus, like no one knew about it, and it just kind of
honestly,
showed.
I probably would be more into checking out Fear the Walking Dead season 4 than the latest season of The Walking Dead, because as once I got to a certain point of the previous season of The Walking Dead, and it was like the midway point, and something big happens at the midway point of the previous season.
Oh yeah.
And I won't spoil it, but like I was just done. Like once that happened, I was like, no, and I just stopped.
The what's it called? Fear the Walking Dead did a time jump because at one point, Walking Dead, Morgan goes on walkabout again, and he ends up stumbling across Fear the Walking Dead.
Right, he switches shows, right?
Yeah.
I did watch that episode.
Yeah, we did see that episode.
I haven't seen that yet.
And now they got like semi trucks, and they're trying to drive around, and they leave these boxes. It's like take what you need, leave what you don't, and they're trying to help people because Morgan, he's all about helping people. Well, you know. Obviously, shit hits the fan sometimes, and but this season started off with like them flying a plane and the plane crashed, and half of them are split up over here, and the other ones are over here trying to jump in another plane to go get to them. Like, who the hell has all these planes in the damn apocalypse?
Yeah, right. Yeah, all of a sudden planes flying around.
Crazy.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
That's crazy. I'm gonna
have to check that out today before I go to sleep.
Yeah, man. Episode 2's on tonight.
I'm cold.
Simon, episode 2's on right now.
I've got Gotham City Chronicles, the next episode of that show tomorrow night with JP Budget Collecting on his channel, and Burke Nasty is going to be joining us, so that should be cool. We're doing Court of Owls as the next story we're covering. Nice. So we're covering that. We've already covered. We've covered Year One. We've covered Long Halloween, and we've covered Hush on that show.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna ask you if you've done Hush. So I'm gonna have to watch that because we finally just read Hush.
Yeah,
How the hell did I miss Hush? I know I missed the Halloween one.
Hush was a great episode. We had John on John's Comics for Kids on.
We're gonna watch it.
Go check that on TV. Check the replay. It's
That's
on my
what we're
channel.
doing after this.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it right now.
That's gonna go up on the TV.
Good. It's up for replay on my channel.
Speaking real quick, Hush, the animated movie.
I saw the trailer. Yeah,
August. I think it's August.
We haven't seen the trailer yet, but you told me about it. We need to see the trailer.
Yeah,
looks pretty.
DC animated is legit.
I love it. So I know I have that. That's on JP's channel, and then I may do like one final like live show from this place on Wednesday, the night before I move on Wednesday night, just to like say goodbye to it. And then hopefully on Sunday I'll be able to turn the internet on in time for Direct Edition Squad from the new location. So that should be pretty exciting. So we'll see you guys then, unless you guys have anything else to say to wrap things up.
No,
if you're bored and need to go spend money, go see Caleb Comics.
That's true.
He's doing an auction, and then the 22nd I'm putting together an auction with some panel members and not just me solo. So I'm trying to expand and make it more fun and enjoyable for people in the chat. So be on the lookout for some advertisements on that.
Very cool. All right, guys, have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll catch you next Sunday.
Thanks so much.
Keep it real.
Bye.